Hello and welcome to the Real Estate Ballers Show. Today's episode is about why your house isn't selling. So there is a saying, you make money when you buy. While that might be true, you don't get to collect the money until you sell. So the sooner you sell that investment property, the sooner you get to collect your profit. So does this sound like a situation that you are in? You have bought your investment property and you did the work to get it ready and your house is live on MLS and you're sitting here twiddling your thumb, waiting for offers, and 1 week goes by, 2 weeks, 4 weeks, and then months go by and your house still has not sold. Uh-oh, what's now? Well, if this happened to you, relax. It happens to all of us. But really, the truth is, I hope that if you got to this point, I hope that you bought the property with enough margin so that you can afford to hold it for longer than you wanted to or had to. So in this episode, we are going to discuss what you should do so that you don't have to hold it for longer than a month or longer than the average days on market in your area. Things to do. So selling your property start before you even go live on MLS. So these are the things that I would recommend you to do before you go live. Very important is your price point. You got to look at your inventory in your market and see what's active, what's pending, what was sold recently, and see where your properties stack up. Okay? Like if you did a full rehab and there's nothing that was, fully rehabbed that are active on the market, then you can price it on the higher side. If you didn't rehab and you only did a clean, then you probably want to price it lower. So you got to be competitive with your price point, okay? And you got to look at your active, your pendings, and your sold to price your property properly. Now, there are two schools on this. There are some investors who believe that they want to use a strategy of listing their property just below where they want to sell it and hopefully to get multiple offers and drive the value up. I'm sorry for this interruption. I've been asked a lot about passive investment. And let's be real, there is nothing passive about being a landlord unless you have a really good property management company. So if you own an Airbnb or a short-term rental and you want to get back your time, please give our team at Buzz Vacation Rental a call at 281-549-8432 or go to our website at pm.buzzvacationrentals.com. Now back to the Real Estate Ballers Show. This method works really well. It takes a lot of work, it takes a lot of preparations, and I'm not covering that today. But price point is very important, so start with pricing your property properly. So once you got your price point down, next is your real estate agent. Or do you have a strong and aggressive real estate agent? Does your agent know and understand how to work with investors? Does your agent understand the FHA anti-flip rule? Because if you haven't owned a property for more than 90 days, you can't accept an FHA offer. So your agents need to know these things and need to know how to work around these things or how to guide the buyer in the right direction. Do you have good pictures of the property? I always take professional photos, whether it's a fixer-upper or a full rehab property. Pictures make a difference. So make sure you have really good photos of the property. Don't be cheap, okay? And this should have come first, good property. Is your property ready? If you did a full rehab on it and you gonna retail it, did you get it professionally clean? Did you remove all the debris in the yard? Because often, I would come up to a property and I see paint on the grass. Did you tidy up outside to have good curb appeal? I would recommend to do landscaping, right? But if you didn't do new landscaping, make sure you tidy up what you got and not having high grass or overgrown bushes, any of that. So do landscaping. I highly recommend it. So having a good property, like if you didn't do a rehab, it's okay, but make sure it's clean. Make sure that if it stinks, remove the stinks, because nobody want to walk a stinky house, okay? That's probably the number one driver to drive people away from your property. So you want to make sure that you have a good smell property. It doesn't have to look pretty, but it needs to look clean and it needs to not smell bad, okay? And then now that you're ready, make sure you have a sign in the yard. A lot of time you got people driving by, and those are the people that most likely to want to buy your property. So make sure you have a sign in the yard. So now you've done all these things, right? And then now you go live and you still sit on the market for weeks and you're not under contract yet. You don't have any offer yet. So then we have to do a second analysis of why the property didn't sell, right? This is where I would look at showings, activities. Am I getting any showings on the property? If I don't get any showings, then maybe I was wrong with my price point, okay? How many actives are there? Are there a lot of actives? And if I'm the only active and I don't get any showing, then something's off. Hey, if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. If I look at actives, I look at pending, I look at sold. Now, if there's like 30 active and 1 pending and 2 sold in the last 12 months, then the market is lower. So you got to be realistic with what's applicable in your market. You know, if your market say this property may sell in 60 days, then it's the norm for you to wait 60 days before you get a contract, okay? If you get showings, then look at feedbacks. What kind of feedbacks are you getting from your showing? And if it's reasonable, maybe go take care of it. And if there's any deficiency with your properties, we'll see what you can do. See if you can make improvements, or you probably have to do a price adjustment to make up for those deficiencies. And then another area that I look at would be what goes pending or sold after my house goes active. Those things matters, right? Why did they skip my house? Did all the one that go pendings, did they look better? Was it priced better? Why did my house not go under contract? Why did those other property go under contract when we all, went live at the same time? So these are the things I look at. And you gotta take your emotion out of it, and you gotta make a good business decision at the end of the day. If I price the property wrong, then I price it wrong. And I have to be willing and accept that it was wrong, and I need to get it sold and move on. Because the longer I hold on to that property, the more it will eat into my profit, or I get myself into a bigger loss. So it's a business decision, and you just have to keep looking at it and see why your property is not sold. And sometimes it could be as simple as putting up a fence, right? Because everyone else got a fence. It could be as simple as do landscaping, put some more shrub in the front yard. It could be check your paint, whatever it is. Look at your feedback, look to see what the market is telling you, and follow the market, understand the market, and let the market tell you. Don't be emotional about it, okay? So there you have it. Thank you for allowing us to be a part of your real estate journey. We hope that your house will be selling like hotcakes. And if you enjoyed this episode, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to stay updated with future episodes featuring more industry experts and insightful discussions. And feel free to leave any comments or questions below, as we love hearing from our viewers. Until next time, keep hustling and making waves in the real estate investing world, my friend.